everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Speak Up with Mopriya. And I hope all of you enjoyed your weekend and you are absolutely excited to start your learning journey for the new week. So, today, what I'm going to discuss with you guys is something which is most requested, and a lot of you have sent in quite a few texts, emails, and Skype messages, and also put it in the comment section quite a few times. That is, please discuss tenses with us. And it is a hot topic of discussion. How can we work on our tenses and how can we get our tenses right? And why not? Because tenses is definitely one of the most important as well as crucial factor which makes our speaking correct or incorrect. So, today on this episode, I am going to talk about one of the tenses, which is the now tense, or as we call it, the present tense. However, it is going to be quite different from all the other tenses video that you have watched because I am not going to discuss any tense rules that you know till now, but I am going to talk about logic and I'm going to talk about situations in which you need to use the present tense. And that's not all. I am also going to explain each and every type of the present tense along with example sentences so that you can start practicing, understand the logic, and implement that in your day to day conversations. So, now you know that today's episode is going to be packed with information. So, do not skip any part of it. Get a pen and a paper quickly and let's learn present tense without any rules. But before we get started with present tense, let me introduce myself to all of you who are watching me for the first time. Hi guys, my name is Mopriya and I am a communication coach and a soft skills trainer. I am also a TEFL certified spoken English trainer and a certified life coach. And on this channel, Speak Up with Mopriya, my aim is to help you all speak up and talk about your ideas, your emotions, your feelings, your experiences, basically anything or everything that you want to say, but right now you hesitate or you are scared. However, my aim on this channel is to empower all of you not only to speak correctly in English, but also to communicate in the right manner with the right kind of soft skills that can make you successful in your personal as well as professional life. So, if you enjoy the content on this channel, consider subscribing and also share it with your friends and family. That ways, even they can learn something important and helpful. So, as I said earlier, I am going to talk about all the tenses but in different videos. In today's video, we are only going to talk about the present tense. However, in the following weeks, I am going to make more videos on past tense as well as future tense. So make sure that you follow each of these videos to master all your tenses and be able to speak confidently in your day-to-day conversations. All right, so before we get started, I want all of you to be clear of one thing. Present means now. So every time you have to use present tense, always remember it has to be a situation which is in the now or which is in the present time. If you remember this, you will never use present tense for something in the past or you will never use present tense for something in the future. Present is equal to now. This is something which is a trick you need to remember all the time. Now, as we all know, each tense has 4 subtypes. So, what are the 4 subtypes of the present tense? Number 1 is simple present tense. Number 2 is present continuous tense. Number 3 is present perfect tense. And number 4 is present perfect continuous tense. Very simple. Now, our main focus is to first understand present simple and present continuous. If we understand these two, half of our spoken interactions are taken care of. Let us first understand these two in detail, and then I will talk about the present perfect tense and the perfect continuous tense. Whenever you have to talk about a daily routine, a habit, or a fact, or general information, these four situations you need to remember. You can close your eyes and use simple present tense. Simple present tense is something that we use for our regular day-to-day activities and things that happen in general. For example, how you wake up and have a cup of chai every morning. It happens every day. That's your routine. It's your habit. So you will always talk about it in the simple present tense. Or if you visit the temple every week with your family, which is a routine or which is a tradition that you follow every week, you visit the temple with your family. So you will use simple present tense to talk about that. So how do you form a sentence using the simple present tense? If you are talking about yourself, like in first person singular, I wake up at 6 a.m. So I, the base form of the verb, which is I wake up at 6 a.m. However, if your subject is he, she, or it, which means if your subject is a third person singular, then you have to add s or es to your verb, which means she wakes up at 6 a.m. So always remember, the trick is for third person singular, your verb catches s or es. I wake up at 6 a.m. You wake up at 6 a.m. They wake up at 6 a.m. But he wakes up at 6 a.m. or she wakes up at 6 a.m. Always remember this, and you're never going to go wrong with your sentences. Let us discuss a few more examples. I can say, I drink a cup of chai every morning, or my dad drinks a cup of tea every morning. I can also say, I enjoy a cup of tea every morning. It's a variation. Instead of drink, I say enjoy. Another sentence can be, usually I go to work at 9 a.m. or usually my husband leaves for office at 5 p.m. Another example can be, my children play cricket every evening. Another example can be, she works in a software company. Let's look at another one. The train leaves at 7 p.m. Train is third person singular. So the train leaves at 7 p.m. So here is one question for you, and I want you to answer it in the comment section. What will you fill in the gap for this sentence, which is, every summer we dash a hill station? Let me know in the comment section so that I know that you have understood the simple present tense. Okay, so now we know for daily habits or routines, we use the simple present tense. However, there are a couple of more situations where you use simple present tense, and let me talk about those. The simple present tense is also used to talk about facts or general truth about things, like the sun rises in the east. General facts means things that are always true. No matter what, they are still going to be true and it cannot be denied. Just like the sun rising in the east or water boiling at 100 degrees centigrade. So we say water boils at 100 degrees Celsius. A few more examples can be, cows give milk, or honey is sweet, or the sky is blue, or the earth revolves around the sun, or India is a diverse country. So whenever you are talking about facts, you can easily use the simple present tense and you are never going to be wrong. Just remember, with singular subject in the third person singular, you are going to add es or s to your verb and you are never going to go wrong. Also, whenever you are talking about scheduled events, plans, timetables, in these situations, you can also use the simple present tense, like the timetable of a train, or movie schedules, or calendar events, like the party starts at 9 p.m. or the train arrives at 7 a.m. or our meeting will commence at 10 a.m. or the school reopens on Monday. So always remember, in terms of events or timetables, again, you can just close your eyes and use the simple present tense and you're not going to go wrong. So now you tell me in the comment section, how will you fill in the gap in this sentence? Mopriya dash one video daily. What are you going to use to fill in this gap? I hope the simple present tense is now clear and you will be able to frame good sentences with the simple present tense from now on. Alright, so now is the time to move on to the next type of present tense, which is the present continuous tense. Now here is the trick for you to remember that the word continuous means something that is going on or something that is happening, right? So whenever you hear the term continuous, always remember your verb takes ing with it. Okay, so continuous is equals to ing. When do you use the continuous form? Of course, as the name suggests, whenever something is going on in the present. For example, somebody is working in a company for the last 5 years. Means they have started working 5 years ago, but even now they are working in that company. So it is still going on and it is present continuous. That's why you will say he is working with Google for the last 5 years. Another thing is you use the present continuous form when you are talking about an action that is happening right now in the present, which means I am recording a video right now. So if somebody asks me, Mopriya, what are you doing? I would say, I am recording a video. So record plus ing and I am. You are. He is. She is. They are. But it will still remain recording a video. Or I am reading a book. You are reading a book. She is reading a book. They are reading a book. So, whenever you are talking about something that is happening in the present right now, you use the present continuous tense. Let's look at a few more examples of the present continuous tense. My best friend is cooking biryani for me, or I am talking to you right now, or they are playing kabaddi, or we are watching a movie. Another one, he is driving to office. And the last one, my children are studying for their exams. So now I hope you are clear about the present continuous tense and you will be able to use them correctly in your sentences. Now here is your task. In the comment section, let me know what is it that you are doing right now. Okay, so now let's move on to the next type of present tense, which is the present perfect tense. Now, the basic thing that I want you to remember is whenever we talk about perfect tense, we have to use have or has along with our verb, and the verb is going to be in the past tense. So the same rule applies here. We will use has because it has an S with he, she, or it, third person singular. So I have, you have, they have, we have, but he has, she has, and it has. Always remember this. He, she, it will have S. And along with that, we will use the past tense of our verb. Now, why do we use the present perfect tense? The present perfect tense is mostly used to talk about your experiences or recent past. So it is quite useful whenever you want to talk about your real life or personal experience or some action which is recently completed. However, it is linked to the present somehow. That is the time when you can use the present perfect tense. Think of it as linking the past to the present. So something like if you are talking to your friend and they tell you that, hey, I am going to visit Taj Mahal next month. You can say in relation to that, you can answer that I have visited Taj Mahal last year and it was beautiful. So you see, it was an event in the past. However, you wanted to link it to the present because your friend is also visiting that place. That is why instead of saying I visited Taj Mahal last year, you used I have visited. However, remember this, it is a choice or a way of expression. Even if you would have said, I visited Taj Mahal last year and it was beautiful, even then your sentence would be absolutely correct. So don't think that it is a hard and fast rule that you have to use the present perfect tense. It is just a way of expressing yourself. And if you don't feel 100% comfortable, then you can always use the past tense. Let's look at a few more examples. She has finished her homework. Or we have lived in Pune for 10 years. Another one can be they have eaten lunch. So probably their lunch was over just like 5-10 minutes ago or 15 minutes ago, and you can say they have eaten lunch. Let's see another example with experience or achievement. He has learned to play the guitar. Let's see how can you use it in asking about an experience. Have you seen the new movie? So here I am asking a question about an experience and I'm saying, have you seen the new movie? Therefore, whenever you are trying to talk about an experience or the recent past, you can use the present perfect tense. Remember that. And lastly, we have the present perfect continuous tense. Now, as the name suggests, we need to remember present perfect means something that has started in the past. Continuous, of course, tells us that it has started, but it has not ended. It is still continuing. That is why present perfect and continuous comes together. For example, let's say I am writing a book. I have started writing the book in 23. However, I am still not done. I'm still writing it. So how can I express that? I can say, I have been writing a book for the last 1.5 years. Now let's look at a few more examples for the present perfect continuous tense. I have been studying English for 2 years. So for all of you out there who are learning the English language, you can say, I have been learning the English language for the last 1 year, 6 months, 2 years, whatever. Another example can be, I have been working with Google for the last 5 years. Another example can be, it has been raining all morning. So remember, the way to frame your sentences when you are using the present perfect continuous tense is using your subject. Depending on that, choose has or have. Along with that, you have to add the word been, B-E-E-N, and then your verb along with ing because it is continuous. If you remember this, you are never going to mess up with your present perfect continuous sentences. So this tense emphasizes the duration of something that has started in the past but is still ongoing and has not completed. So now let us do a quick practice of our present perfect and present perfect continuous tense, and you guys answer these few questions for me. Number one, have you ever traveled abroad? How will you answer this question? Let's look at another one. What have you been doing today? How are you going to answer this question? Answer these two questions in the comment box so that I know that you have understood the present perfect and the present perfect continuous tense. So now I hope you have a better idea of the present tense and all the four forms of it. Let me quickly recap it for you so that it is easier for you to remember. We have the present simple tense to talk about daily routines, habits, anything that happens on an usual basis, facts, general truths, experiences, facts, general truths, and timetables or scheduled events. Remember, all of these things can be expressed using the simple present tense. Then comes our present continuous tense, which we use to describe actions which are ongoing or currently happening. Number three, we have the present perfect tense, which we use to talk about our experiences or things that have happened in the recent past and is somehow connected to the present discussion that we are having. And lastly, we have the present perfect continuous tense, which is used to talk about things which has started in the past but they are still incomplete or still ongoing in the present. If you remember these few things, you are never going to mess up with your present tense sentence construction. And I hope you have understood the basics of it. If you have any questions, please feel free to drop them in the comment box and I can definitely explain it to all of you once again. Okay, so for this week, all of you practice present tense and make sure that you are habituated with framing sentences in the present tense and are not making any mistakes. Next week, together, we are going to decode the most scared tense, which is the past tense. However, trust me, there is nothing to be scared of. It is quite simple if you understand the logic behind past tense. And remember this, if you understand past tense, half of your English grammar will be taken care of and you will never make any more mistakes. So be ready for next week's episode, but keep practicing present tense for this week. For any of you who wants to connect with me to join my WhatsApp community or my group sessions or one-on-one sessions or just to have a YouTube conversation, please read the description box. I have given all the details in there. Just do the needful and we can connect and discuss further. All right, so now is the time to wrap up this session and I will connect with all of you tomorrow with another new video. Till then, you all keep learning, keep enjoying the process and take care of yourselves. Bye.